And back on the tee, Nelly and Lexi. Just waiting for their turn. A couple extra layers on today, but the sun will come up all the way over the top of the trees.
This should be a very comfortable pairing.
Certainly more gettable for the players. Is there you see the averages this week. 18 birdies all came yesterday so far here at the first. Got to see Lexi's round from start to finish yesterday, shooting that 1 over par, which it wasn't her best. She wasn't hitting it very close, Amanda, but she also couldn't get the putter really dialed in either. So again, putter's always going to be key to a good round, but I'll go glass half full. What did you see from Lexi yesterday that would give you some hope?
Or what? Yes, like when we were watching, I couldn't believe that she was 1 over par.
Well, Nelly yesterday, 12 of 14 fairways. She hit 14 of 18 greens, 32 putts. So it's kind of the similar story to Lexi. The ball striking was fine. It just wasn't spectacular. You know, you didn't have that 1 or 2 kick-in birdies that kind of then leads to the free flowing of the putter swing. But 32 putts, you can't make a move. You can't shoot a number with a bunch of 2 putts. Nelly did make 3 bogeys yesterday, offsetting the 3 birdies that she had. See Lexi and brother Nick on the bag this week for her final event in her full-time elk-sided down below. Back to the tee now here at 1.
Welcome to the second round of the 2024 CME Group Tour Championship. This is your 8:35 starting time. First on the tee from Bradenton, Florida, a 15-time LPGA Tour winner and 2-time major champion. Please welcome Nelly Korda.
Greatest winning season in 13 years on the LPGA Tour. This is just her 16th start of the year with that neck injury costing her a few fall starts. 12 of 15 cuts made this year. Top 10 in 10 of those 12 made cuts in the 7 wins. She's won nearly every other tournament she's teed it up in this season and needs a really low round today if she's to cap off this year with the CME Group Tour Championship.
Yeah, it was like 47% of her starts resulted in a win. I mean, that is just so remarkable.
Nelly's got 130. Also gave herself a little bit better of an angle, but left herself probably a full pitching wedge to, like I said, a pin in the very back. So look for this to probably come up a little bit short.
Right where she wanted to stick it. And a chance to birdie this hole for the 2nd consecutive day. Putter in her hand and made the switch to the Spider midway through the year and has finally gotten the feel with it late in the season that was really comfortable. She putted well at the Solheim Cup, obviously putted great last week, but very rarely do you see someone win 7 times in 1 year and make a putter switch midway through. Not to a new putter, just to one she was familiar with, but kind of amazing to think that this is not the putter she began the year with, winning 5 times.
Well, and when we watched her, when she hit that slump mid-season, she went from putting so well, being one of the best putters on tour, to having, you know, the really poor putting. Oh, just gets the edge. That I am not surprised that she changed the putter. Sometimes even just mentally thinking, okay, what can I do? Let's try something completely different. Let's bring in a putter, a new putter, and just even mentally can help give you a better visual looking down and having a better.
Playing better than Charlie Hull, so kind of a stunning 73 yesterday to open this tournament. And we've got a couple of loiterers making their way across the golf course. The nice thing to do here is not to hit it, but I'd be tempted to just, you know, buzz the tower here.
Well, Lexi and Nelly in particular are very fast players, so she might just say, you know what, I'm not going to hit you. I'm going to just grip it and rip it.
Just yell 4 after you make contact. That's out to the right. That's going to make the path to par far more difficult here at 2. The golf ball of Nelly Korda, which has gotten to the upslope in this bunker, but maybe far enough away from the lip here, Sophia, that she's got to play at the green without the breezes up today?
Yeah, you know, it's tough. I think she can actually go for this. It's a decent lie. She's got about 160 though, all the way to the back. This pin is all the way back. I could see her trying to get something maybe to the middle of the green or even the front part of the green just to give herself a putt at it. Anything missing left is a pretty tough up and down, right side too. So look for something to kind of finish in the first half of the green.
Sounded so good.
Oh, how good is that? Yeah, these bunkers really are almost perfect. They're not really soft. You can see that even from here. Just making sure that she hits the ball first. And you can see the big splash comes after the ball. That's a key when hitting any fairway bunker shot, trying to get that ball first.
As we head back to the green, and Nelly Korda starting to stalk this long-range birdie effort, Sophia.
Yeah, she's got probably about 40 feet. But talking about her putter, she switched only 4 events really. She switched to that spider putter. It seems like a long time because we say mid-season, but it's only the 4th time. But she has been putting really well with it, and especially long range. Good speed, that's always something that she's been working on, that she's been frustrated with, that she feels like she doesn't have good speed. And I feel like that's gotten a lot better with this putter. So obviously here she's trying to get out of here with a par or almost a birdie. But putting has gotten very good over the last few events.
Well, you can see, I mean, she even kind of grimaced a little, was hoping to make that, but that pace was really good. She had a beautiful putting stroke, and I think she kind of thought that might go in.
Then the settle, like, oh, go in, go in. Oh, stop, now stop, now stop. My word's a bit more animated than her facial
Well, probably
features.
exactly what was going through her head.
Yeah. You know, she also alluded to the middle of the summer, not just the putting. We can look at the physical, but she said it was a mental slump as well for her, that for someone who had won as much as she had.
3 years ago, if you had told me that her best stat was going to be her putting stat, I wouldn't have believed you. But she puts an incredible amount of time in her game. She practices so much on her short game, so much on her putting, and is really starting to pay off. We didn't see it a ton yesterday, but her putting stats are really showing kind of the strength area of her game, which hats off to Lexi that it's their putting right now.
So much freedom in those arms. That putting stroke looks just so rock solid. Par start for Nelly, still waiting to hit the gas.
But it's so true when it stays inside in the family. I mean, you can see why professional baseball players will then have children, sons that are professional baseball players, or the Korda family, tennis players, then have children that are tennis players, or even just in a different sport, but it's such a competitive level. And whoa, did not like that.
Look out.
Club twirl and might have hit our camera crew.
Might have gone right through the wicket there, both the tripod and the legs. But it appears to be sitting okay into a front left hole location that's probably pretty doable for Nelly, but that's back-to-back tee shots left to the right. You could even hit for a tournament, so they were doing some work as you see the reaction from Nelly after that drive. Anything that you've seen, Amanda, on 2 swings blocked out to the right?
Well, I saw them on the driving range, and like you said with Jason, it looked like they were really working on turning her hands over, that it might be getting stuck a little bit at the bottom. And that's what's so great. She and Jason have been working together for like a decade. So he knows her swing just as well as she knows it. And also Jamie being there.
Cakewalk?
Yeah, for Charlie's cakewalk. I don't feel like that's going to be for everybody.
Players behind arriving at their golf balls. Nelly got a fortuitous kick through the camera to get to this spot. You see all the debris around. But again, could have been far worse if it kicked up into that pine straw and had more tree trouble.
I like it a lot. I think you played 140, try to come down.
All right, we got both sides of the fairway covered here. Unfortunately, neither one in it. Who's going first, Sophia?
Yeah, looks like Nelly's going first. She's ready. She's actually got a very good angle into this whole location. 140 yards. The tough part being there's a drop off behind the pin, and she's only got about 8 paces to work with at the front of it. So judging it out of that line, not so easy. Not for her.
Go in.
Oh, get in the hole.
It does!
Oh, are you kidding me? No way, Nelly.
An even better angle now.
Oh my goodness. With the one-handed twirl club finish off the tee that she dropped because she didn't like the tee shot, gets a good spot, and then, yes, ma'am.
Said we needed a bit of a jump start. Nelly Korda delivers, hoops it from out of the rough here at 3, vaults to -2, and a big smile from ear to ear. Is that what gets things started for Nelly? And rough delivers yet another absolute beauty here in Naples. You wanted a little giddy up? I give you this. Eagle 2 for Nelly Korda. She's 2 under, and now off to a flyer start here in the second round.
We talk so much about the power in the men's game, but Charlie, I would say, is one of the strongest players out here. In fact, she says she has such a hard time sleeping on the road with racing thoughts that you'll often see her at the gym 1, 2, 3 a.m. in the morning, and she's bringing other people to the gym now at the crack of dawn, getting other players into shape, and should be the Charlie Hall School of Fitness.
She'll post her workout videos. You want to talk about physical fitness. We've got a few in our feature groups today that are absolute poster childs for athleticism. Nelly just does it with this beautiful, long, languid, graceful swing, and the best driver of the golf ball on the LPGA Tour this season. Officially second in strokes gained off the tee, but
She always has. And sometimes if it gets a little heavy, she gets too much dirt. You can see that happen, especially if the fairways might be a little bit softer.
perfect strike a hole ago, and this one in a predictable spot. That uphill birdie effort, as Nelly has that to get to -3. What would you consider to be the key to this golf course? I mean, you know, people sometimes label a golf, it's a first shot golf course. It's a second shot golf course. Raced away from her.
It was so fast, yes.
So that's going to be a long par saver for Lexi, trying to avoid giving back the shot she earned. And now it's Nelly Korda for birdie up the slope. Just go a little bit. She was licking her chops on that one and just didn't hit it.
You could almost see the, you've got to be kidding me, running through her head. Just a little bit more pace.
But you get the bonus hole out a hole before, and she's played this first 4-hole stretch at 2 under par. You know, disappointment to make a par at 1, but you know, if you said beginning the round, hey, we'll give you 2 under standing on the 5th tee, you'd take it and run
100%.
there.
I mean, we showed the stats beginning of our morning and how difficult the gauntlet was.
Charlie had suggested making it a 3-shot penalty, which you obviously would then know about if you're looking at the scoreboard and you see somebody get docked 3 strokes for 3 bad times. We'll get into that conversation a little bit more as the day progresses, as Nelly's ready to fire here at 5. Great kick. Just needs to hold the back of the green, and that's a great leave and a great chance at a 2.
It's 192 today, so kind of.
Which is what you want, a little bit past the hole, so she gave it a chance. But yeah, I think just not hitting it on the right line to start off with just never gave it even a chance to go in.
Great look here. You're going to track this putt every inch of the way for Nelly.
Yeah, this putt is right up the 0 line, which would mean pretty much a dead straight putt for anyone who does aim point. So a great look for her.
Stay up, stay up.
Oh, does it? Oh, that was mean.
I mean, just hit it a little bit harder and that ball goes in. And that was a great opportunity. Goes by the wayside. So Nelly's still looking for her first birdie putt. She's hit several really good putts. One at 1, 2. Just a moment ago here on the tee, second par 5 of this front 9, but certainly most gettable one on the property each and every year. Nelly Korda just trying to find the fairway. She's battled a couple of right misses with the driver so far today. That one a little right of center, but in a really...
What year are we in? Early this year. And it's so sweet when asked what Nelly's favorite part of this year was. Yeah. After she won 7 times, after she went to the Met Gala and the Sports Illustrated swimsuit, all the things that she's gone to the Solheim Cup, Olympics, and she said the birth of her nephew, becoming an aunt.
Yeah, I don't think the questioner was expecting that answer. I think the question was about what was your favorite part of the year from a golf standpoint, and without hesitation, Nelly said the best part of my year was becoming an aunt in a year that she set a ton of records, so really special. Grayson was on our coverage last year. He was still cooking. He was still cooking, but Jess was on the ground watching Nelly play, as she's got fairway metal out here to go for this green in 2. Cut a little. What is going to
look at that. Beautiful. Feeds the hill. Well, we watched her at KPMG. I was there on site when she didn't play as well as she.
You see Nelly walking up, a little sunscreen applied in what has been one of the most memorable seasons for Nelly Korda that you could draw up after last week's come-from-behind victory. 7 victories. You see the most wins by an American player. You have to go back to Beth Daniel last time an American player. How about Beth Daniel's photo? That is some quality bio photo there.
That's 80s,
Nothing screams 1990. That's a glamour shot right there.
Even
I'm loving
lean.
that one.
I love it. But it really...
You see the list on... I've already gotten distracted. That's just so good. I hope Beth's watching. That is quality headshot right there. You see the list that she joined. First LPGA player with 7 wins in a season since 2011. I mean, and when you think about that run, Annika had multiple 10-plus win seasons, an 8-win season through the early to mid-2000s. Then Lorena Ochoa sort of took the banner. She won. No birdies thus far for Nelly Korda, but she does have a hole-out eagle at 3. And this, from long range, would be her 2nd eagle in this 2nd round. If this were to fall, and she has hit 4 really good, if not borderline great birdie putts on her other 4 holes that have just not gone down. If you believe in the law of averages, maybe this long distance try could go to get her to 4 under.
She's 2nd on tour in par 5 scoring average. So takes advantage of her length and her beautiful putting, and doesn't get an eagle to fall, but should be a very low stress putt to make birdie on the 6th hole.
7 eagles this season, now 8 with that hole out moments ago. That will not be her 9th eagle of the season. I mean, her birdie or bet.
And that's such a good range for her, and to get those birdies. She's put such a fluid stroke on it. And we've seen some great putting from Lexi. Now, Nelly looking her birdie over, should have very little movement in it. Put it firm right up, back up the hill.
All right, both these players doing exactly what you're supposed to do here at 6, and this is a scoreable stretch. Holes up today at 8, just a 135-yard par 3. If it's going to be a really special day.
Yeah, and you can tell Nelly actually, she's in a great mood. Last hole, she's asked me if I need some sunscreen, so I think she's in a very good headspace. And just again, played that last hole so perfectly. Now coming to 7, where this is one of the tee boxes they actually pushed back. It's a little bit longer, so they have to hit drivers this time around. Usually this is just maybe a 5-wood or a 4 hybrid, but to no surprise, they have a little bit of a holdup, which is probably also not ideal for these two girls that are super, super fast.
Maybe the best driver swing of the day, although it didn't get a big pitch forward, but that is center cut for Nelly Korda.
And it is really paying off. 3 under par for her total. I did not.
It's like soft, it's like easy on the wrists.
That is true.
I mean, I prefer the fairway, like Nelly does.
Yeah, she's got 135. Pretty straightforward shot. Great angle again. Has to stay short with this one, though, because there's a drop off behind the pin.
Oh, she thought she got too much of a draw on it. There's exactly what Sophia was talking about. That was a trampoline bounce. Almost went in on the fly. And now that will be real challenging for Nelly.
Yeah, it's very uncharacteristic of Nelly not having a spin on the ball, and just took that huge, I like that, the trampoline bounce, because that's exactly what happened.
I mean, the pitch mark's what, 6 inches from the cup? Let's take another look at this one on descent. Just short.
And well,
almost at the flag stick.
She could have knocked that flag stick. It was very close, but normally when she hits it that close to the flag, you see some serious bite on the ball, where it only will.
And now we're back here at the 7th, and a trampled down area, kind of a thatchy little lie down here. This is no fun over the back of the green, Sophia.
This is not fun. I would rather listen to my toddler scream for 30 minutes than have to hit this shot.
And that is saying something.
Seriously.
I'm in the toddler stage.
That's
That's
trampled
brutal.
down. Yes, it is trampled down. Grainy, grainy, grainy. Tough to judge.
Oh, that was so perfect. Well, it's
And this
tough
is
too.
Nelly Korda for you.
Yeah, well, what's tough too with that amount of grain is it really takes out some of the other options. Like a player like Lexi, who will putt from almost anywhere, when it's that grainy, it really takes the putter out of play because you don't know how it's going to bounce. It would be extremely slow. We saw Brooke Henderson pull out a wood yesterday through the fairway when it was off the fringe like this, but Lexi just hit that, or Nelly hit that so perfect, put it back in her stance a little bit, took a divot. She didn't really pick it and use the full bounce. Just kind of more of that classic chip shot.
I mean, how easy is that to hit fast?
Oh, so easy.
Yeah.
I mean, that would have been really easy to chunk. She accelerated the club through the ground, though, really well. It's easy to kind of dig it in and get it stuck, but she was able to get it through the turf.
And a simple cleanup for Nelly. Keeps the card clean. 3 under in the round, 3 under for the week last year. So we'll see with down breeze if either of these players can provide fireworks a year later. But wow, what a difference a year makes. But holy cow, what a year it's been since we saw that hole-in-one here on feature group coverage a year ago.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, even what we were saying, family-wise, now having her nephew that she absolutely adores and gets to love on was Jessica was pregnant with him last year. And now he's out there in the front pack following her. But if you could have told Nelly last year, hey, next year you're going to have 7 wins, I think she would have taken that and be player of the year. One of those being a major. And like you said, Will, that pin placement looks almost identical to her hole-in-one. Oh.
That's average.
I think she likes this 8th hole.
Just a brilliant shot. Love the number and a great look at 4 under for Nelly there. You can see there's the difference in the ability to spin that golf ball. Group of 4, kind of similar lines, but just chased it a little bit back, but able to get a little bit of air has been exquisite. All right, while that was taking place, player who has holed out today, looking for birdie back at 8. Cut. Oh, no.
This pin has really given our group some struggles on the read.
It's 1 hole, it's 1
Oh,
minute.
she hit that out so nice and soft.
Wide fairway here at 9, but it narrows if you have driver in hand. But Nelly has routinely just challenged the bunkers down the right-hand side. Wind helping to push this ball back left. Trying to thread the needle. And you hear Jason say perfect. Oh yeah, it is perfect. There it is, just on the right-hand side of the fairway.
And that should be a really good angle too in.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, but you know you've got a couple of scoreable holes on the back 9 and doing exactly what you were supposed to do today if you were one of these big names. Get it while the getting is good on this golf course. And Charlie Hull, the best round going on property.
And definitely don't count out Nelly Korda either. She could start getting really hot soon. I mean, obviously we saw that amazing dunk from the fairway or from the rough. Well, they really don't have rough here, but off.
That's the I mean,
off
that
the
actually
closest.
is rough. I mean,
Yeah.
it was
Not the fairway.
They say no rough. It wasn't fairway and it wasn't sand, so it's Lexi from distance, and now Nelly wasting no time.
She's only got about 120 yards. She bombed this drive. Maybe a wedge in hand. So green light. Let's go.
Staring it down.
Oh.
Okay, got to make that one, right? I mean, the short miss at 8. Now you're putting uphill back into the breeze. A chance for Nelly to go out in 32 and match Charlie Hull at 4 under par on the leaderboard, one of the bigger movers of the morning. Still smiling, and she should.
There was a girl on tour who we played with for years who would bring a bag of bacon. And
Now we're talking.
And she would, throughout about every 3 holes, just bring out her bag of bacon.
That's awesome. I love bacon. Nelly's got about, again, it's a super similar putt to the one she just had. So this probably has to stay inside the hole and just give it a little bit of pace.
Oh, that was huge for Nelly. Like you said, Will, after that missed birdie opportunity on 8.
So a clean card, a 32. Nelly making the move she needed to make on a Friday, and it started with a bang after the missed fairway at 3. Can't call this right. It's the rough. Look at it. That's from the rough. Nelly Korda from 140, the highlight so far of this Friday. 1 hop, 2 hops, tracking the entire way. The eagle got her going. She continues 4 under par, making the turn. Globe getting the invitation here this week, and the biggest prize in women's golf, women's sports, of $4 million to the winner. Nelly Korda won just over $4 million thanks to her 7 wins this year. She could double it up if she could climb the leaderboard. And a low-flighted driver here at 10, just asking for a soft bounce, and she will get it. There's $131 million in prize money coming up next season in the 75th anniversary of the LPGAs. Nelly will load up on the snacks, and we take a look at the effortless beauty that is the rhythm of Nelly Korda's swing, Amanda.
Well, it's so athletic and it's so repeatable. It's actually kind of uncommon when she does mishit it. Her club is completely parallel with the ground. And watch, she takes a very athletic turn through the ball with her hips and just uses the strength of her lower half. She's very tall, so has a very tall golf swing where she can get that really great height on the golf ball as well.
She doesn't need to hit it farther, but it feels like a swing that if she needed to.
Tuck back, and with the wind into, it's hard to get it all the way back there. So Alexi's was a very predictable result.
It's one of the first lies we've seen that haven't been completely flat. Her ball was below her feet there. Did not seem to bother her.
Air, didn't she? Right on line. Look for back-to-back birdies for Nelly Korda. Both she and Charlie Hull in front of her have gotten within 4 of the lead, trying to take it deeper here on the back 9. Obviously, but I would imagine that your team is talking before the day of ideally this is where we want to be at the end of this round. This is how we're going to make the climb back. When does that factor into your inner monologue or your conversation strategically with your team?
Sophia, do you want to answer that one first?
Yeah, I'll go for it. I think, you know, at the halfway mark, I have a good idea for where I am, but if I were Lexi at this point, it's starting to probably get in my head a little bit, and I feel like both of them had a goal of probably being around 5-6 under today at least, just to not lose too much ground for the next couple days.
A really good pace. It's a tricky kind of balance to make, because there's so much of you wants to stay in the moment, and you know, just the golf cliche of one shot, one hole at a time. You know, play each hole the best that you can, but there really is.
Club in her hand, kind of expect that to be really good, and as they walk away, Nelly, aggressive play with driver here at this somewhat short par 4. For 4 under for the week, and this lady, Nelly Korda, 4 under par. Se-Young Kim also 4 under par today, but that's about it when it comes to deep under par rounds with about half the field now on the golf course as Nelly set the fire here at 11.
I know these two players, Nelly and Charlie, are just making it look a lot easier than I think it actually is. In particular with their...
A lot of burnt edges in this
She
group
put
today.
A great stroke on it.
Yeah.
Nelly's should move a little bit to the left. It's very, very quick.
Oh, I thought that looked so good. That was a perfect read. A very fast putt, so just right when it hit the apex, it kind of looked like it was going to bend right towards the hole.
I mean, the make rate for a 20-25 footer is quite low, but it just feels like she's due for one today. The speed, the lines have been so good. Hard to nitpick a 4 under par round of golf, but Nelly Korda may be on the verge of something special here on the back 9. Here. Another exquisite shot with the irons for Nelly. Distance control spectacular. Saw that putt just a little bit farther out, holed by Jatanagarn a moment ago. So another great look for Nelly to breathe a little extra life in the putter. It's hard to believe she's 4 under par in this round, and I'm guessing she's coming off birdie back at 12. And speaking of birdies, we've got 2 really good looks back here at the 12th where, Sophia, I'm going to call it. I'll let you call it as well. I feel like this is the one that goes in for Nelly to get things heated up.
I love that. Let's just say I'm going to call the same thing. This one's going to go in. This is a great opportunity. 12 feet. Maybe wants to go a little to her left and then sneak back to the right at the end. But she's due for one. She's put a great stroke on every single putt she's hit, so she can just get this read right. I see one going in the middle.
Oh, good call, guys. That was...
Never a doubt.
I don't think that looked
Never a
good.
doubt.
Just when she was walking up, kind of a right-handed golfer's dream. That slight bend, right to left, a little downhill, so you didn't have to crush it.
Now, she won't admit it, but she knows Lexi's going to bury this putt. You got to make it on top of her. You got to put it in. I know this isn't match play or anything, but they were smiling coming off the tee. You know Nelly was thinking, I got to make this before she makes hers.
And Lexi's probably like, thanks.
In the final start, it would appear, with her being 5 under par today. Now back on the tee. Nelly coming off that great birdie. Got a couple of pop-ups right on the front 9, but she's driven it beautifully the last 2 hours or so, and that couldn't walk out there any better. So you can see the water just behind her with those 30 inches of rain above average. Thanks to the hurricanes last month, the water levels finally kind of getting back down to their pre-hurricane levels. So Lexi will walk over. Nelly will probably play out of turn here just to allow Lexi some time, and knowing that Nelly's always ready to rock.
Yeah, Nelly's only got about 125 here, with a slight breeze helping. It feels like helping right now to a back pin. So knowing her, she's going to play for something that just stays a little bit short, but this is right in her wheelhouse. I wouldn't be surprised to see something go close here.
Oh, really well done. You know, Sophia was saying when she talked to Nelly's coach, JB Mulligan, about
Well, Nelly has a putt to get within 2 of the lead.
right here, where it was into the grain and then went down grain. So a lot of variables that she had to take into consideration, and even though she has a good amount left, I don't know how much closer she really could have hit that.
Meanwhile, Sophia, you probably couldn't have dropped the ball in a better position on this green than where Nelly Korda is.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Again, in the perfect position. Or I wouldn't say traditionally, but this is a weird putt. Every time I've been here, I read it left to right, but it goes left. I think that's just because of the grain, but it's up the hill. She can give this a good run.
Hit it. Well, she read it right. Just forgot the whole hitting the ball thing.
And sometimes that's so easy to do. It gets so focused on the line and then don't give it the right speed.
Sophia, loaded question. What has been the most impressive thing for you about Nelly this year?
That is.
Big names making big moves here on a Friday. Nelly Korda, 5 under par today. T-ball here at the par 5 14th. Again, one of these holes lengthened from a year ago. This hole, a par 5 meaty at 580 yards. That one is pounded by Nelly, but again, just putting yourself in position. Amanda, I mean, you kind of have options maybe, like pick it clean, play the long explosion shot. You have to commit to something as she gets out of that waist area. You see her off in the distance. Nelly's not going to have any chance of getting it up near the green, so this is her layup shot here at the par 5.
Yeah, and this is not an easy layup because you go a little bit too far left. Lexi actually went in a spot where you can block yourself out with a tree. So, and you're hitting about a 200-yard shot. So that was a great swing from there.
Great camera shot too. Just tracking that ball on an absolute rope. All the feels with that one. I love that.
And just back to Moria's bunker shot, that was really challenging. Yeah. It's probably one of my least favorite shots in golf.
It was this just a moment ago. Nelly Korda leaving herself underneath the hole, just a little bit right of probably where she intended. 3 under on the par 5s this week, looking to go 4 under on.
Long time since an American had been Player of the Year. Back, you had to go back to Stacey Lewis. She was Player of the Year in 2012, 2014. Before then, when Lilia became the Player of the Year last year.
A lot of great conversations this week about sort of the rise of women's sports in 2024, and you and I were talking off air. It's the perfect storm at the perfect time for women's golf to have, you know, back-to-back Americans be #1 in the world and have the seasons that they have, and then to have sort of the Q rating, if you will, the appeal that Nelly has to win 7 times and be the face of the sport. It's the perfect storm for the LPGA Tour, at least domestically here in the United States. Just a great representative of the game if she can maintain this level of play and continue to drive people to feature group coverage, the television, or to tournaments in 2025 as she looks for birdie here.
Yeah, she just keeps giving herself so many good leaves. And I think Nelly really is becoming more comfortable, kind of putting herself out there. She talks all the time about staying in her bubble with her team. Her team has now become family at this point, that they all she relies on them so much. They're such a great support system. And so she really does try to stay in that bubble, but she's starting to. It's been a while since we haven't had just kind of a superstar rookie where it has been.
Or a rookie winner.
Yes.
As you see Nelly waiting in the fairway after her tee shot here, and Sophia has more on this round for Nelly and the improvement today.
Yeah, I just had a quick chat with Jamie Mulligan, her coach, and I thought you guys would get a little bit of a kick out of this because he told me, he said, I just recently was texting with Adam Scott, who's a good friend of his, and he was saying, he sent Adam a swing of Nelly's, and Adam was like, that's the swing that I want to have. And that's funny because Nelly really wants to have Adam Scott's swing. So he told me about that, and I just kind of chuckled because those are two swings that I think anyone would kill for, and I think it shows you that even when you're the best in the world and you're the best swing in the world.
They need to try and squeeze it into that right side. Nelly next.
Yeah, and she's only got 136, but the wind is so swirly. You can tell she's backing off. She's hitting an 8-iron, a small one. She loves to hit those. She rarely hits full irons. She loves to flight them down. So look for a flighted shot that won't catch any of the wind that's swirling up there.
Right there. Absolute perfect leave. Putter on it. Just on the putting surface. Nelly Korda with the putt again to get to 6 under. And if she can get this round in the house at this number, or maybe
tighter, because you can see the nerves kind of creep in, and then it creates much more of a jabby putting stroke, and it's really tough. Golf is a tough game. It's a very mental game, and you get nervous over. Even the pros get nervous over short putts.
Expectation might be to make here for Nelly right up the slope.
Yeah, she is coming right up the fall line. Actually, her caddy Jason, he was just kind of smiling at me like, "Yep, another good club." exactly pin high. I was thinking this is pretty straight, but she actually just showed it going maybe a tad to the right, but she has to give this enough speed.
She gave it plenty, but it went left. You can see her motioning there with her left hand that ball just turned a little bit to the low side of the cup. So a misread on that putt from Team Korda. And again, another putt that just singes an edge. And this is the best round on the golf course, and it could have been better today, but Nelly is making the move and holding position inside the top 5. 3 to go here in her second round.
Save.
You can see her sort of aging over the last hour. It's been a real brutal one. It's been the opposite story for Nelly, kind of on cruise control, just hasn't made a ton of putts, but here she is, 3 off the lead on a difficult par 3 here at 16.
Yeah, it's 172 yards. She's hitting a 6-iron, and the slow play is kind of killing their vibe a little bit, I think.
Well, Nelly made a really good point last week when the play was just astronomically slow, that it's not good for the fans either to be sitting out there watching. They're the scoreboard. Nelly's 5 under par and she's sitting at even.
All right, well, Nelly holed a long putt before Lexi tapped in her birdie at 12. Can she cut her for a 2 again early here at 16? A great putt and a great effort.
Momentum for Lexi to finish the round, give herself even an eagle look at it. Nelly would like something very similar to that.
No late stare for that one. Nelly, another one with a nice little kick forward. That should chase down to a good position, and both these players in a great opportunity to go for this green in 2. Well, we've seen some highlight moments with the star power in our feature groups today. So hard to pick the best of the best, but
and just hasn't been able to make the birdies.
Nelly ready with the green clearing.
Yeah, she's got 204 to the pin, straight downwind, about 182 front. So this looks like a 6 or 5 iron.
I don't think she liked it, but got a nice soft bounce and another eagle look in this round of golfer yardage book to make it fit the fairway in the book. We've got 2 eagle looks. Lexi Thompson's inside of 6 feet here at 17. It'll be Nelly first. This would vault her into a tie for second if she's able to make it.
Yeah, and I think she would have loved to have this ball land on the green, so maybe get that extra rollout. But this is a great look, but still one that I wouldn't be surprised if she just tried to cozy that one up there, take a birdie, and try to finish strong on 18. But it's going to break a little right to left, so should be a comfortable read.
She gave it a lot of borrow.
Oh, you can see the hand. Come on, because that was an absolutely perfect line.
Couple of times that she has left a putt short on this back 9, but good call from Sophia. She wasn't going to be super aggressive with that one. Take the birdie. She accepts it. 6 under now in the round, 6 under for the week, tied for 3rd as you see that clean fairway with all of that safety to the right. And now Nelly should have no problem finding the fairway here. She's hit 16 of 17 greens in regulation day. The only one she missed was on the front over at 7. Got a little bit too aggressive with an approach that had a really tricky little up and down and made it look way easier than it was. 12 of 14. And done hand shaking. We're back in the fairway. Nelly's tee ball and Lexi's both chased out a pretty fair distance to where I would imagine both of them with a good number here could hit it close.
Yeah, they've actually both got one, I think 126. Jason's actually trying to figure out who's going first right now. Nelly almost flirting with that bunker. I think that drive went a little bit longer than she thought it would, but 2 great drives. Nelly maybe with a slight advantage on the angle over Lexi, but they're hitting no more than pitching wedges into this downwind with a very gettable pin today. So I'm looking for a great finish for both of these girls.
Just another delightful approach shot. The distance control today, Amanda, has been world class, and you'd expect nothing less.
I mean, Sophia said it perfectly. It's a precision. She's been putting on this just precise iron showcase for us where the distance control has been absolutely spot on. Mentally trick yourself into relaxing, still needing to take that driver, and she's hit some beautiful drives coming in, like on 17 and 18, that set her up for eagle on 17, and then now the birdie putt here on 18.
Big round of applause for both of these ladies as they make their way up, obviously celebrating what Nelly Korda has accomplished this year, and many, if this is their lone day, coming out to the CME Group Tour Championship, celebrating the career of Lexi Thompson. We covered it a lot yesterday, and hopefully we're not done seeing Lexi on our feature group coverage through the weekend of
Now Nelly's looking at her putt. She almost puts herself in such a good position that she's going straight up the hill, and it's almost hard to tell if this is going a little right to left or a little left to right. When I read it, I had a feeling it might sneak a little bit right at the end, depending on how fast she putts us through the green. So she needs to give this a little bit extra.
everybody watching this putt. Did she hit it hard enough? Speed got her a little bit on the back. Probably left 2 or 3 birdies out there in a round of 66. It is the round of the day to this point. And number 1 will be a factor this weekend. The question is, where will 6 under be at day's end? But she did what she had to do today. Nelly putting a number on the board to get back in contention to try and win this golf tournament for the first time and get an 8th win this season. Fantastic play by our morning.
And I'm here with Nelly. This is my first ever interview, and you know, this is awesome. A little bit nervous, but I'm glad it's her.
So
I think I'm the one that's honored. So a couple questions about today. Obviously, even par yesterday, 6 under today. I got to watch every one of those beautiful shots. What is it that you found overnight that helped you kind of propel up the leaderboard?
I just hit it a little better. Made a few more putts. I went to the range for probably 30 minutes after my round and tried to find a different feel than what I had yesterday. I mean, I may have hit, I don't know, 14 or 15 greens yesterday, but I just was not striking it in the middle of the face. I don't think I hit one in the middle of the face yesterday. So I really wanted a good feel before, you know, going to sleep yesterday, and I did a little bit. I wasn't pleased with a lot of a couple of my shots, but you know, overall, I think I battled back pretty hard.
You definitely battled back. Starting on making an eagle on the third hole. That was awesome. I called it kind of. I said you had a great angle into this green, and knowing her, she's gonna get one close. I didn't know it was gonna be that close, but what were you feeling before the shot, and obviously how do you feel after it went in?
I did that for you.
I knew it. I knew you had to get one in for Jess last year, and then you needed to get one in for me. You're like,
But the hole in one, obviously, I had to say for Jess, so the eagle for you.
so the eagle just a little bit worse, but just right there.
No, I was in the rough. I didn't hit my shot too good off the tee, and had to hit like a little controlled 8-iron in, and it landed soft and perfect, and I just saw it go in as a putt. So good way to start my round for sure.
Yeah, that was awesome. And then last but not least, obviously the fam is here. I'm getting so many Grayson snuggles. That's amazing because I don't get them from my daughter right now. And so I've been obviously following along with him. How nice is it to have him out here, have him specifically out here, because I feel like the babies, they just put everything into perspective.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely nice to come off the golf course and not think about golf. I mean, you just kind of disconnect from your world, and it's nice to recharge your batteries even while being at a golf tournament. So having my family out here, having my people that I can just be myself with, relax and go out and have a good time is really, really nice.
That's awesome. So obviously I wish you all the best for the rest of the weekend, and I'm very honored you were my first interview.
You did great.
and,
Right?
And good luck tomorrow. Thanks again.
I think so.
Wow.
I made it.
Oh, she did a great job.
Whoops.
Nelly making a move up the leaderboard here today after that opening round of 72. A 66 today. How would you compare these 2 days?
Well, definitely a couple more putts dropped today, and actually found the center of the club face, which is nice. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Golf is just crazy. You go from playing so well last week to not being able to find the center of the club face yesterday. It always humbles you, but that's what I love so much about it. Went to the range after my round yesterday, tried to find a different feel, and I felt a little better out there today, and hopefully I can keep progressing.
Yeah, we saw you make a beeline straight for the range after the round yesterday. What did you find?
I just needed a feel, a thought, just one simple thought in my head, and that's what I found towards the end of the session. And it took a while, I'm not going to lie. There were a couple one-handed finishes, but I'm grateful to have the people around me to help me through those times.
What's that one thought you found?
Just a little bit of more hinge on the backswing, make it a little shorter.
Well, we appreciate the time. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks, Amy.